Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Transfer Insight. My name is Dan Club. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by experienced German reporter Dennis Melzer for this one. Dennis, my friend, how are you? Okay.
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right,
Everything's
thanks.
fine.
Yeah, all good, thanks. Yeah, we're enjoying some lovely weather in Liverpool for a change. It's been a bit grim for the past week, but it's absolutely glorious outside today, so I can't complain. And yeah, I mentioned obviously you've covered German football vastly down the years. You were Bayern Munich reporter for a while for Goal. You've also extensively watched Bayer Leverkusen for a long time, so you are the perfect man to speak to when it comes to Florian Wirtz. I want to start off with, I noticed you did an interview during your time at Goal, I believe it was, with Christian Wuch in 2020. It was interesting. You could see, and I read it earlier on, you could see from what he was saying and the conversation you had with him, just how special a talent Florian Wirtz was at the age of 17. Like, could you sort of tell from what he was saying to you that he knew just how brilliant this young man was?
The first thing I have to say, it was 2020 in January. Leverkusen get Florian Wirtz from 1. FC Cologne. And it is important to say because he was back then, I think, 16 years old. And between the three Rhine rivals, Mönchengladbach, Cologne, and Leverkusen, there's a gentleman's agreement that they don't take the players of each other, the young players, I have to say. So Cologne, they were really mad about that Florian Wirtz went to the rival on the other side of the Rhine to Bayer Leverkusen. But I think it was because Leverkusen just gave him the better perspective. So Cologne, they were struggling with the first team, and so Leverkusen took the opportunity to get him back then. Although there were other clubs who want Florian Wirtz, obviously, because he was such a talented player. And with Christian Wuch back then, I talked to the under 17 coach of the national team, who's now the coach of the women's national team Germany. And he was like, yeah, this is an outstanding player, and he will become one of the key players in Germany, definitely. But as a coach has to say, he said, okay, we just want to that Florian stays down to earth, because that's the most important thing. And Florian always stayed down to earth. I think he is very clear in his mind. The parents just want the best for him. So that was the reason why his father and his agent at the same time, I think wanted Florian to go to Munich as the first step. Stay in Germany. The parents are not that far away. Florian has 9 sisters and brothers. And yeah, the family is really important for him. His sister's playing for Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga, women's Bundesliga. The whole family is football addicted. But Florian, as the last child, the 10th child, is the most talented of the whole family. And so I think his mother wanted him to stay in Leverkusen because everything is fine. He's the best player. They live nearby, and his father said the next step is obviously Bayern Munich because it's in Germany and it's the best German football club. And so this reason is, but for Bayern, it's a big defeat that they don't get him, because the most important German football club wants to have the most important German football players. But Liverpool was quiet all the time. The Munich club said, "Yeah, we are really, really sure that he will come to us." About many weeks, about months, they said, "Yeah, he will he will join Bayern Munich." And so it was a big defeat for them that Florian obviously didn't come to Munich. They tried really everything to convince him. They wanted to spend the money now Liverpool spends with 150 millions. But for Leverkusen, I think, it's a good one. because Bayern obviously is at the moment the huge rival in Germany. So that Florian does the next step and goes to England and he not stays in Germany.
Yeah, it certainly keeps the Bundesliga title race potentially more competitive moving forward because, as you said, their Bayern Munich clearly have just regained their title from Leverkusen. But then signing, Florian Wirtz would have meant they just strengthened their rival, basically. So you're absolutely spot on. And it's interesting. Obviously, you've seen him grow and develop since that interview in 2020. We're now 5 years down the line. Though he had an ACL injury during that time, but he's been one of the standout players in the Bundesliga, it's fair to say. Do you think this next step now, you mentioned his family maybe wanted him to stay in Germany. Do you think this is him perhaps driving this because he wants to get out of his comfort zone? He wants to move somewhere else. Yeah. So what is, widely regarded as the biggest league in the world?
Definitely. It was him who wants to join Liverpool. I think he could have stayed in Germany, of course, but he achieved everything you can achieve in Germany. He became German champion with Leverkusen, and it was the first invincible season in German history. He won the German Cup, the DFB Pokal, and the Super Cup. There's nothing more to achieve, and so England is the logical next step for him. And in my side, it's the best step he could do.
Just on him, sorry, go on.
He was the driver because he said, "My book in Germany is closed. I have to do the next chapter in England, one of the biggest clubs in the world." And I think Arne Slot was more convincing than Vincent Kompany that time. And there was a clear plan with him. And Bayern are not able to give him that plan because there's another similar player, Jamal Musiala. And in Liverpool, Flo Wirtz is the number 10 player, although he won't get the number of McAllister. But he is clearly a number 10 on the pitch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. In terms of what he does bring to the pitch, then let's quickly touch on some of the qualities that he possesses to you and just how special he is as a footballer, really. Because we've heard a lot in the past week or so ever since the links really sort of gained some traction. But you've watched him a hell of a lot clearly down the years, Dennis. Just for you, just where does he rank, I guess, in terms of the players you've watched play for Bayer Leverkusen?
Yeah, that's I follow Leverkusen like 30 years now, and we got really, really talented players there with Michael Ballack, Toni Kroos, Zé Roberto, Emerson, Bernd Schuster. There were some great players, Kai Havertz as well, but Florian was the most talented player I've ever seen there. His technique, his eye for his teammates, his passing, it's so outstanding and special. And I think the Liverpool fans can look really forward to an outstanding footballer.
No, absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, he's good in front of the goal. He's such a special. He is so good in decision finding. Although there are 2 or 3 opponents around him, he always makes the right decision. It's really a special player.